A very good evening, good morning, good whatever it is, wherever the hell you are. Welcome to Friday Night Six Pack, or Friday Morning Six Pack for those two very, very brave people from the United States who have chosen to join us at 5:30 a.m. How are we all doing?
Too fucking early in the morning for this shit.
You know what?
I'm going to say I'm fucking excellent, but hey.
Yeah, Jen's had a quiet week. Nothing's been going on in Jen's
Yeah, nothing's been going on in my life at all.
Nothing. Not a thing. We are not aware of anything. It's been very quiet. So, yes. Hi to everyone in the chat. Good to see you all there. Hopefully we'll add a few more. Few new faces, few familiar faces. So, as always, good to see each and every one of you. Jen, what is going on in Jen's world?
Well, you mean aside from my personal life?
You have a personal life?
I do now. I've got a boyfriend. Isn't that amazing?
Well, hang on. You don't have a boyfriend yet because it's not official until he's six-pack approved.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be hard given that he's West Coast US and he's in bed when we do this show.
Well,
actually, no,
if he was committed.
Late, so.
He does stay up, but he can't.
I've watched him on a stream at stupid o'clock in the morning. So.
He does.
Stupid o'clock in the morning is always a good time. It's I find myself up at stupid o'clock in the morning a little bit too much, but so there's a bit of love in Jen's life. That's always good. You'll notice the glow in Jen's cheek, the smile on her face. There's just this radiance glowing off her at the moment. So I can't wait to hear her rant and opinion on a few things.
It's going to be so hard to get unhappy about something.
Jen, if anyone can find a way, it's going to be you. If you get cranky later, we know that it's genuine. It's not just because you're in a bad mood. So that's always good. God, how is the grumpy old dude? Ed, mate, what's going on?
I'm tired.
That's I love that grumpy. I love that. That's the grumpy we love.
I see Ed brought Jay with him.
What? Yeah. Showing out to Jesus.
Jesus is stuck at work, so he can't be with us. Maybe later, but we'll see how he goes. But this is the problem when we flick over from I get daylight savings where I am, and it goes the other way. So what used to be a 7:30 start for my good friends in the US is now a 5:30 start for my very cranky friends in the US. So these things happen, but unfortunately, hopefully Jay makes it. But we'll see what happens. Ed, what's going on? What have you been up to this week, apart from waking up early and cursing those wonderful Australians?
Ripping apart scrap metal, trying to make a few pennies.
I was going to say that sounds like fun, but I thought you were going to be making something with it, not just making money. So,
well, some of it I did keep to make projects and stuff with, but
so you're going to make some art with it?
I might, yeah.
I hope so.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hopefully I'll make some stuff for Amber for Christmas.
Oh,
love it.
We need pictures, photos required.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I know she's watching, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and give her a preview of the tile that I'm working on for her currently.
I love that I have
the infinity. Yeah.
The infinity symbol.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is so cool.
I get jealous whenever I see people with artistic talent because I have none. I have absolutely zero artistic talent. As such, I shan't be speaking on artistic issues tonight. That will make sense later. In context for everyone who is in the chat, that will make a lot of sense later. Manda, Mama Atheist, what's doing? How you going?
Speaking of metal art and Christmas, I found, those disc plate things. They're these metal, they almost look like posters. It's some kind of art that you put up on your wall. I found these stormtrooper ones. They're stormtrooper helmets, but they're all different colors and shapes and stuff.
Wow.
So I found I got one for Angel for Christmas, and I got a different one for myself. So we'll have matching ones. I'm probably going to put it up in my studio. I'm excited.
That would be a cool thing to do with a 3D printer, because you know how you get those those basket things that you hang plants out of, and they grow out over the side. You could 3D print a stormtrooper mask and use it as a.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
That would be so cool.
You know what I'm going to have to find?
Yep.
You know what I'm going to find, and I'll find it while we're all chatting. I'm going to find you the Boba Fett outfit that I used to have in my old shop.
You had a Boba Fett. Oh, I forgot you ran a comic shop.
Yeah, I had a comic shop.
Yeah, that's
and I had
right.
we had a cosplayer who he wanted to display some of his outfits, and he had this insanely cool Boba Fett. So I'll have to find it, and I'll find that during the show. So everyone pay attention. It should be a lot of fun. So
you had to say the B word, didn't you? Didn't you?
I did have to say the B word, but shh, we won't say any more.
Boba Fett.
Nope.
All right. So tonight's
anyone.
No. We shall say no more. All right. So tonight I want to bring up a topic that's, I think, important, and I think it's something that we all need to be mindful of, and that's not trying to educate people on other people's lived experiences. It's something that seems to happen a lot where people who are particularly woke want to show off how woke they are by jumping on a cause that they really have no understanding or about. Now, there's certain issues, I guess, I have an opinion on, and there's certain issues that I would never ever try and I guess explain to people or push because it's not my lived experience. A great example of that is you'll never ever hear me talk about pro-life or pro-choice because as a male, I don't think that that's my place to have those conversations. On anything to do with that, I defer to my wife because as a woman, that's, she does have the right to comment on those things. Something happened on
Wait, 1 second. Speaking of your wife, where the fuck is she? All I heard from you was like, this is gone.
Oh no, it wasn't Lizzie's gone. It was Lizzie's gone. I've got the house to myself for the weekend. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. I figured she was, did she go see her parents? Just wondering.
Yeah, she went down to. She was gone down to visit her parents for the weekend. So it's Friday afternoon. Picked up the kids from school, straight down the coast, and you know what? It's
he's batching.
Well, I got the house to myself. You're all lucky I'm wearing pants at the moment. I'll put it that way.
He has no one to bring him beer now.
Or am I? I've got the bottle of wine here. Don't you worry. now, one thing I am going to do. I am going to do a shout out and encourage everyone wherever you are in the world to buy Australian wines at the moment. For those who aren't aware, what's happened is we export a lot of wine to China. Now, China doesn't like us at the moment because we're siding with America in everything that's going on. And they've decided that to punish America, they're going to impose some tariffs on us because they can't have a trade war with America. So they're going to have a trade war with us. So they've absolutely thrown huge taxes and tariffs on Australian wines, which is almost going to be crippling to the Australian wine industry. So if I can encourage everyone, I'm not going to have a beer this month. Instead, I'm going to go and buy a bottle of Australian wine. To all of our friends, especially those of you in the US, we've got your back. Please have ours on this and go and find a bottle of Australian wine. I can promise you it is the best wine in the world, especially some of the reds, some of the Shirazes, the Cab Savs, or the Cabernet Sauvignons, if you don't use the Australian lingo. Absolutely sensational. I know there's some great stuff from Jen's side of the world, the Margaret River. You'll find great stuff from the Barossa Valley, from the Hunter region. We are famous for our wine, so please go and buy a bottle of Australian wine this month. It would really mean a lot to people in my country because what China's doing, they've thrown massive taxes on iron ore, barley. They're absolutely trying to cripple our economy as punishment because we're friends with America. So
you realise, Chris, you've just declared this is International Australian Wino Month.
Yes, I'm aware of that, and I'm okay with that. Now that you mention it, everyone had 2 bottles of wine. So have to just you know what? Just get a goon bag. If you don't know what a goon bag is, look it up.
Yeah, you've got to do it right. You've got to crack it open, hold it up, and just pour it down your throat.
Absolutely, it's we actually have a game here in Australia where normally played by teenagers, where what you do is you get a goon bag, which is like the wine in the cask wine, and you get the bag out and you put it on the clothesline. You spin the clothesline, and wherever it lands, you take a drink.
Yeah, so you have people stand around the outside the clothesline, and it's like spin the bottle with the bag.
Yeah,
and without the
how big though is it? Like you said, cask. So
about 5 liters.
Jesus.
5 liters of really bad wine. It's like
bad wine.
It's not
this
good
is the
stuff.
fruity shit.
Like box wine here in America.
Yeah, box
it
wine.
is exactly box wine. Yeah, it is box wine. That is the exact stuff. So anyway, everyone buy a bottle of Australian wine. If you need any tips on good Australian wines, hit me up, hit Jen up, and we'll give you the inside goss so you don't buy the bad stuff.
Nice.
Donna says any excuse to be a wino.
See, Donna's always talking about the drink. It's rum that she was very excited when she could smell and taste rum again. Yeah, I could see the tears coming through the keyboard with joy and excitement. So anyway, I'm just going to do it. This is what I'm drinking tonight. It's a Canberra Syrah, which is a Shiraz. It's from the Riverina in New South Wales, and it's bloody fantastic. So grab
your
some.
float partner's in the chat now, Amanda.
Oh, hello, love. He's at work. He's been at work for a couple hours, so
that's frustrating.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw across to Jen, because I'm not going to try and explain what's happened because it's not my place to. So I am going to be quiet, and I'm going to throw the microphone across to Jen. And I guess I'd ask that people who are in the chat be respectful and understand that this is Jen's lived experience. And while we can all have opinions on it, let's just be mindful of how we approach it. Jen, all yours.
All right. As probably most of the people in the channel know, Elliot Page, a couple of days ago, came out as being a trans man, requesting people, non-binary trans man. So people should be respectful of Elliot and his pronouns, and be nice about that and everything. Now, a certain... Sorry?
Who is that? Who are we talking about?
Juno, what
Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy.
I have a question, Jen. Yeah. Actually, if someone asks a question like that, is it okay to say their former name? Like, just, I know it's dead naming.
Dead naming is a difficult thing. If people are asking who somebody was, who was this person originally, if you can explain it without dead naming them, it's probably a good idea. Only for the comfort element of the people you're talking to. Because if you dead name somebody who's not there in front of somebody else who's a trans person, you may as well have just dead named the trans person who's near you. Because it has that same emotional effect, because everybody knows what it's like, who's been trans knows what it's like to be dead named. So if you have Vanya in Umbrella Academy, Umbrella Academy,
Kitty Pryde in the X-Men movies, Juno, I think, in Juno
in Juno, yes.
Yeah.
So an actor.
Yes.
Yes,
I don't
know.
A lot of people know who Elliot is. They have a large number of works that they've done in Hollywood. Quite popular as an actor. And a certain high-profile atheist in our community decided to make a video on this.
He's done a lot of Broadway. So
Elliot has done a lot of Broadway. Not the high-profile atheist.
The high-profile atheist probably thinks that they know a lot about Broadway, but anyway, back to Jim.
So, anyway, I'd like to point out that this particular person, who I'm going to name as Jimmy Snow, because I think we have to talk about who it was.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so they started out their video basically trying to say that them as a large content provider in the atheist community really felt that they should raise the voice of Elliot so that more people could understand. Now, I'd like to point out that there are millions of people around the world who know who Elliot is and haven't got a fucking clue who Jimmy is. Jimmy could not possibly raise Elliot's profile at all by talking about this, not in any meaningful sort of way. This was about raising Jimmy's profile by piggybacking on top of somebody else's lived experience. That I have a problem with up front. But it's not unusual. Lots of people do that. It's a news type outlet-y thing, and it's kind of the way that Jimmy's gone with how he creates his content. And that's okay. All right. Then Jimmy went on before he started going on about his intention of this was to explain to people how you should deal with trans people, how you should be nice to them, how you should be a better ally. He started out by saying, now it's time for me as a cis man to explain to all you cis people how to be nice to trans people. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat and all my other fellow panelists here would understand how that imaging is fucking bad. You know, if you on the left can say that I can explain to other people who have no part of this lived experience how you should treat people in this lived experience, then you are opening up the floodgates for people on the other side who are assholes and bigots to have their say without people being able to tear them down, because we can't tear you down for what you've just done. I'm not saying Jimmy shouldn't have said something about this. I'm not saying he shouldn't have brought up the subject. What I'm saying is, to do it right, he probably should have at least had a trans person on the show with him to discuss it, so it doesn't look like he's talking over trans people. And he shouldn't have done that 28-minute video, which was basically him explaining cis-splaining, because I'm going to use that word because we often talk about mansplaining and other things, cis-splaining to the world how he thinks trans people should be treated to and how trans people react to things. Because I know he went through the GLAAD's actual explanation of how people should treat Elliot. And that's fine for GLAAD, because GLAAD are an LGBTQ plus organization that would have had a trans person actually write this. But Jimmy put his own personal opinions into this and his own thoughts about how trans people feel about things. I am sorry, Jimmy, you are not in a fucking position to comment about how trans people think about things because you are not fucking trans. If you had gone on your channel, I'll let you talk in a minute, man.
Yeah, no,
if you got on your channel and said the same thing about African Americans, and I've probably used the wrong term there, but I'm Australian and I apologize, you would have got slaughtered for it. You should be slaughtered for this. You were wrong to do this the way you did this, and you will create problems in the community, because if we're going to accept you doing this, we have to also accept the people on the right, the religious nut jobs, trying to explain how they think trans people should be treated. You should know better than this. When you identify as somebody who's part of the LGBTQ plus community, you should have known fucking better. And you should be better than that. And this is part of the problem with that woke idea that, oh yeah, because we're on the right side of this, we can say what the fuck we want. No, that's not how this fucking works. You have to look through it through the mirror of seeing how this allows other people to speak about this issue. And Jimmy, you done fucked up. Go, Amanda.
I don't want to speak to any of the trans stuff, just because again, I'm cis, like three of us here on the panel. But I think what bothers me the most is the overall idea of a blanket statement of like, this is how you talk to this type of people. Every single person is an individual, whether they're trans or cis or non-binary, all of it. You know, there's no set way to just because someone happens to be something, that's not literally who they are. That's a part of who they are, and it doesn't make them like every other person that is, that may be trans or that may be bi or that may be pan. I don't think Jimmy would appreciate it if Ed here, whichever the fuck way he is,
yeah, you got it right the second time,
had a stream where he was like, okay, so this is how people like me and us should talk to pan people. He wouldn't like that. That is not, every single person is different. And so that, like I said, the stuff Jen said, I'll agree with, but I can't speak to it because it's not my place. But the fact that any blanket statement, what if he had said, again, I'll bring up the African American or black thing. This is how we talk to black people. Like, that would be fucking insane. Think about it. So that really pisses me off.
So I'll just answer a point that Fly for Meal put up in the chat just now. They saw the video in question and did not find it offensive. I personally did not find what Jimmy had to say offensive. I found what he did to be wrong and give the wrong image to people, in that him on his own telling people that as a cis person, I'm going to tell you how to treat trans people, brings the wrong image out. This is my total objection to it. It's the fact that him doing that then gives license to people on the other side to do the same thing without us being able to say something about it unless we pull up Jimmy for doing the same thing, which is what I'm doing now. I want the right to say to somebody who's a bigot that you can't do that because you are talking over us. And in the same way, Jimmy doing this is talking over trans people, whether that was his intention or not. And I don't think it was his intention, because he is somebody who supports trans people. I don't think he looked at the bigger picture of him doing this and through the mirror of public opinion that this could bring about. That this is, for the want of a better word, cis-splaining, and he shouldn't have done it this way. There were other ways he could have brought out the same sort of content. I realize if you get a trans person on, or some people go, oh, you've just got a token trans person. But it's still, having somebody that you could point to and say that's a token trans person is still better than the image of him trying to be the person who has to explain how this is done to other cis people. That's my whole problem with it.
So I'll offer my opinion, but not on what he said, but why he did it. I think he saw something that was popular in the news and decided to latch onto it because it's going to get clicks. I mean, he didn't make this video a week earlier, did he? No, he latched on. I mean, it's not him lifting Elliot's profile, because I mean, Elliot's a movie star, a TV star, has a top, one of the biggest shows on Netflix. This is him lifting his own profile. Look, I don't think it's any secret. I think anyone who knows me knows I really can't stand Jimmy. So I just want to say that this isn't my vendetta here. This is something that Jen, who is on every six-pack and has been on every six-pack, has an issue with, and I think it's only fair to give her the platform to have a rant about that if she wants to, and to offer her lived experience. But I personally think Jimmy's a piece of shit, but that's beside the point.
As I said, and I'll answer Fly for Mill again here. Yes, the other side do this all the freaking time, and we should call them out every time they fucking try to do this. But we also have to call out our own side when they do this, because you can't say they're not allowed to do it, but he can do it, because that's hypocrisy. And
interestingly enough,
need to be two-faced.
The other side, I don't know if you mean is that like the other side of politics, or
no, they're talking.
Okay.
Camille's talking about bigots trying to explain things to people. But yeah. So I mean that's the thing. You can't have it both ways. Just because you agree with somebody in some of their opinions doesn't mean that because they do something that is effectively wrong, that it should be allowed a free pass on it. Because as soon as you do that, you open it up for the other side to do the same thing, and you are a hypocrite if you now call them out on it.
I think it's a video that I saw that it really kind of made me sort of go, well, hang on. It was during the protests that were going on in the US, and there was a a white person who was a protester screaming at a black police officer about the experience of black people in the United States. And sorry if that's the wrong term.
Oh,
being
yeah, I saw that
Australian,
video.
That's fine.
I don't know. So screaming, just about that, and then saying, "Well, you're not really black." Then it's all this stuff. I mean, it's not up to anyone else to try and talk about the lived experience of someone. And I know this is something that Ed, you've had a little bit of lately when you've tried to explain things that you actually have a genuine experience in, and of course, well, what would you know? You've only lived it.
Yeah, I just spent half of my life as a white supremacist, but I don't know what a white supremacist is. Apparently.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that I don't think it was done for popularity or clout. I think he's gotten used to being kind of the I don't want to say voice of the LGBT community within the atheist community, and he tackles a lot of these issues, which I have in the past I appreciated because I didn't understand what pan was, and I just happened to be pan. But
it's not even that though.
No, I'm saying I don't think I understand why.
I know where you're
going.
why
he thought that was a good idea. I don't think it was, intentional.
Oh no, I don't think there was anything malicious in it. I don't think there was any. I think he did it. I mean, I do agree with Chris that he saw it as a good topic to do because it's going to get clicks. I do agree with you, Chris. I 100% agree with you with that. But I do think he was doing a good thing by doing what he was doing, and he was trying to be supportive. I do legitimately think that.
But by the same token, I mean, if something's topical, I mean, we all make videos when there's we all make topical.
Yeah, so I don't hold that against him. What I hold against him is the way he did this. He knows a lot of trans people in the community. There's a lot of them who would have shown up for him. He could have even had a panel of a couple of people show up on it. I'll give you a good, or even if he'd pre-written the video, could have had a couple of trans people in the community edit the video, and then he could at least put in the comments, I had trans people in the community edit this video to make sure I said things right. But he didn't do any of that.
Or I spoke to my friend such and such, and they agreed. Ed, far away.
Yeah. Here's where I think is the biggest problem. A lot of people start getting bigger channels. They start getting a lot of recognition. Even if they don't have big channels yet, they have a lot of recognition. They've worked with bigger groups and bigger names in the atheist community and whatever. And they think, oh, people know my name. I can say shit and they will listen. Be careful when you say shit, because if it's not 100% accurate, you're going to cause problems. You're going to cause harm. Get out of your religious mindset. Stop acting like you're still in a cult and do your fucking research.
Yeah. And
I
another thing.
I made a video a while back. I don't know if you two are familiar with Ahmaud Arbery, the young black man who was shot on the street while jogging. Okay, and that was I'm not African American. It's something that I talked about and it wasn't about clicks. This was when my channel was tiny anyway, but I was so brokenhearted about it and so angry about it, and I just had to say something. So
that was also in your community, though.
Yeah, it was in Georgia. It was
Yeah, you were talking about it from the point of view of somebody in your community who was concerned about the way this was going within your community. You weren't trying to talk over black people. You weren't trying to do this. You were putting out your concern for your community. That is different to what Jimmy has done here. I mean, if you're going to want to talk about minorities, you should be raising, and you're saying, like Jimmy did, I'm going to raise up the voice of this minority, then raise up voices in that minority, especially if you know those voices in the minority. Raise them up. Get them on your show. Have them talk about this issue, and you can still get the clicks and the views for it. Bring these people in. Have these people who have this lived experience talk about it, and you can facilitate and be a good host who facilitates this discussion without talking over people. That's what Jimmy should have done.
I'll throw to you, Ed.
Here's an example. I speak about racism and hate groups, but I do not try and tell people what it's like to be a black person, because I've never been a black person. I've never had to deal with those kind of issues. I can explain things that I've learned from working in that community and how, I apply that into my life. But I don't talk about what it's like to be a minority, because I've never been a minority except for when I was in prison. And I can speak on that as being a minority white person in a prison or penitentiary. Can't tell you what it's like to be a minority out in regular society, because, well, I've never been that. So all I can do is tell you, to listen and have dialogue, have a conversation, be respectful, and treat every human being as a human being, regardless of race, gender, or gender identity. It's that simple.
So it's interesting. Look, my attitude is I will treat the trans person the same way I would treat anyone. As far as I'm concerned, Jen's just one of my friends. That's not even it's not even a thing that sort of, Jen's not my trans friend. Jen's my friend. We do six pack. We have fun. It's no different to anyone else. Jen doesn't like sport, which really sucks, but anyway. Makes it a little bit hard, but but that's the thing. And I think Paul Camish actually put in the chat before, just treat people like people.
Yeah, Nerdy did too. Nerdy said something along the same lines. I see trans people are just people. Fuck.
Yeah, listen, just because you have a voice and recognition doesn't mean you're always correct. Do your research. Do your research and work with other people.
Jimmy was certainly right in a lot of ways. I mean, he read straight off Glad. He put his own personal opinions on some of it, and some of his personal opinions I would have issue with, but not enough that I would pull him up on those. They're just personally, from my lived experience, I don't think he communicated it properly.
You can't use your opinions as fact. Everybody has an opinion, and guess what? They're just like assholes. They all stink.
It really just does come down to the public image of it, and if we as people who are socially progressive, because I think that's a word that I can apply to all four of us here, we're socially progressive, even if one of us here is a conservative.
Hey, as a conservative, I believe let everyone do what they want.
That's right.
I'm not. I'll be clear. I'm not an American conservative. Not an American conservative.
No.
Yeah.
If you're a person who's a socially progressive person who's left in that sense and is pro trans rights, you should be worried about people thinking that they can make statements like Jimmy did with this video. For exactly the reason that I've already said, in that you are giving license to people who would have the different opinion to you to do exactly the same thing. Now, I know they do that thing because they think that's their right to do it. They think it's their right to get up and talk about issues they know fuck all about. However, if we don't call Jimmy up for doing it, we cannot call them up. In all conscience, we cannot. We have to be consistent in this. Because as soon as we start being hypocrites, we lose all credibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I say how dumb something?
What was that, Amanda?
Can I say how dumb the words like pro-trans rights are? To me, it just feels like there shouldn't have to be that, because why? Everybody should just. Everybody's fucking human. It's like saying we're pro-human rights. And I wasn't like tearing you down or anything, Jen. I understand it. I just, to me, it hurts that something like that has to fucking exist. That there has to be an opposite of the anti-trans. It hurts.
Well, I mean, it's the same when you're talking of gay rights and Black Lives Matter and things like that. We have to put these things out in the topics they are, because we have to actually shout that we're talking about rights for these people, because otherwise people on the
I understand that
on the right don't give a fuck.
We do. I'm just saying it hurts that it has to happen.
Oh no, I 100% agree with you. We should just be talking about people's rights in general.
It's fucked in
not people on the right.
It is fucked up. But unfortunately, our society is pretty fucked up.
It's 2020, almost 2021, and we're still dealing with stupidity. Yeah.
I'm going to throw. I want to throw a positive spin on this in a way. No, seriously. I'm going to do this because, I'm the historian of the group. So I spend half of my life looking at 20, 30, 50, 1,000 years ago. And I think that gives me a pretty good basis to compare society previously to society now. Now, we've still got a long way to go, but we're getting there. We're probably getting there slower than I think a lot of us would like. But certainly, if you would compare where we are now to where we were 20 years ago, 50 years ago, certainly, I think that society is moving in the right direction, and certainly individual freedoms and people's rights to express themselves and to be who they are is improving. I genuinely and honestly believe that I guess as four people who are living in modern Western society, we are amongst the luckiest people ever to have existed on this planet.
Okay,
I would say that.
You, Chris? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd mostly agree with that for the entire world. As far as the U.S., I think we've gone backwards quite a few decades on some, certain topics. Just my opinion. Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully things will chill out.
I think you're looking at
it's going in the right direction.
I think you're looking at that through the prism of Australia, though, Chris, because, I mean, I talk with people, especially when I'm talking about rights for trans people from all over the world. And if you talk to anybody who's from the UK rights for trans people are worse now than they were 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Legitimately worse.
Didn't Poland
the Gillick decision the other day removed rights for trans kids, and will effectively remove rights from all kids to self-allow for medical treatment.
And didn't Poland just pass
disgusting? And that is a very bad law. Bigotry.
Trump took trans people out of the military.
And Trump took trans people out of the military. Removed protections for trans people for housing.
Yep. And jobs too for a while until they were able to pass.
There's only a particular court case that came back and protected LGBTQ rights for jobs over what the Trump administration was trying to do. So if you're going to compare the UK...
I'll be honest, I know nothing about this stuff.
If you compare the UK and the US and Australia, they've gone backwards. Australia is a lot better, but the same elements that have fought to take rights away from trans and other LGBTQ plus people in the UK and the US are fighting in this country as well, in Australia as well, to remove rights from us. Trans rights are a battleground for the religious right, because they lost the right on gay marriage, the fight on gay marriage, and they see trans people as the next most easy target to go after, and if they win that, they can come back.
They'll lose that fight. They'll lose that fight too.
They may, but at the moment, they're winning more battles than they're losing, and that's a problem. Maybe not in Australia, but in other countries they have.
I guess the point I was probably trying to get to is, and yes, I'm looking at this through rose-colored glasses. I understand that. I think that it's going to get better, I guess, is what I'm saying, and I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic that the conversation maybe we're having in 10 years is better than the one we're having today. I hope.
I think it will be, but I think we're going to have a lot of pushback and a lot of bad things happen in the interim. And it worries me, even in Australia, that we could end up in a position that things are worse in the next couple of years than they were 20 years ago. That could conceivably happen here, and it's only going to not happen if we're vigilant and we put the brakes on it. I
Dan, I
hope
can tell you right now,
better as a country than
I'll
that.
stand with you. I'll stand
I
with
know
you.
you will. I know you will.
I agree that I mean I agree with Chris. Obviously, it's much better, but I think what we're pointing out is just every time we seem to take these steps forward, something we get pushed back for some fucking reason. And this, so much has gone backwards in the past 4 years in America because of the massive surge of hate groups and shit like that.
Yep.
It's not just that. The hate side is very well funded. When you go to look at places like the Heritage Foundation, etc., they have a fuck ton of money that comes out of the religious right in America. They put over $40 million into the campaigns of TERF organisations in the UK to help fight against trans rights.
They're so
$40 million.
They're so
Stop tithing at churches, people. Stop tithing.
It's not only that, though. Here's part of the problem. And I hear this all the time. People want to keep telling me, that all these hate groups and everything, especially the ones I cover, specifically white supremacist groups, they're just fringe groups. They're just fringe groups. 70 million people voted for Trump. How many of them do you think are white supremacists?
I think that's a reach there, Ed. But I agree with you. It is a problem.
It's not.
Think it was a good thing.
I'm going to tell you what. I was getting ready to do a video this week, but I got busy doing stuff. My form of religion, creativity, has gained over 1.8 million people this year.
Yeah, I think
tell me they're a fringe group.
I'm not going to say that everybody voted for Trump, but that is a white supremacist, but definitely has at least.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not
what
I'm saying.
White supremacist groups have they tripled since he came in office? You would know better than me.
They've almost quadrupled.
Almost quadrupled. So there you go.
So I'm going to be careful here because I don't want to be a hypocrite.
Well, let me say this first. I'm not saying that everybody who voted for Trump is a white supremacist, but out of those 70 million, how many are white supremacists that you don't know about? So stop thinking they're a fringe group.
I know what you're going to say, Chris. We're not going political. We're just.
No. I think tonight's fairly clear. What I will say, and I say this as someone who is not an American, so I accept that I don't have an American experience. No, I'm not. However, I am someone who has studied American politics and commentated, and I understand a lot of the nuances of American politics, but I'm not American. I know a lot of people who are Trump supporters. And I could tell you that not one of those people in any way, shape or form would I even suspect is a white supremacist. A lot of those people, well, not a lot of those people, but a number of those people are not white. Trump is a very divisive character. Now, I'm just going to be straight up. If I was in the US, I would have voted Biden. I said that. I actually said that after the polls closed because I didn't think it was my place to comment on another country's election. But after the polls opened and before the counting started, I did say on a channel with Steve McRae, if anyone wants to go and check it, Election Day with Steve McRae, that I thought Biden was the better option, primarily because he's not as divisive. I think he's someone who can bring back a bit of unity. I think.
Plus, you're trying
Trump's
to say language. You watched my video, so that too.
I always watch your videos.
I know what I'm saying. That was a good reason.
Yeah. Well, I think you've got to be careful, and I guess this is my advice to people on the left, especially in the United States at the moment. Make peace, because the more that you say they're white supremacists, they're Nazis, they're fascists, they're all this kind of stuff, they're horrible, evil people. A lot of people are just. That was just their candidate. They've always voted Republican. That's the way they voted. But all you will do is you will just create a bigger divide. Now's the time to mend as many bridges, and it can be hard sometimes. But if I could encourage anything, please mend the bridges.
Yeah,
I agree with you. But like I said, people need to stop thinking that these are just small fringe groups.
Oh, they're not.
Have no backing. Let's say there was only 1/5 of the people that voted for Trump are actually extremists. That's 14 million people.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
That's not
if that's the case. If that's the case. Sorry, Mandy, go.
Sorry. Fuck. I know what you mean, Chris. I know about that we need to be able to make some sort of peace. But, like you said, you didn't live here. And these last 3 years have been fucking hard.
They're about to be over, though. They're about to be over.
Like I said, I understand the idea of making peace, but we are hurt and angry, and we were scared, and we're still afraid right now because of the bullshit Trump is pulling. How he's setting these precedents and tearing down our Constitution. It was fucking hard. So making peace, while I see the necessity in it, I'm not.
There was a press conference the other day where a couple of his legal counsel were actually suggesting that they should just ignore the Constitution and not give up power in the US.
They're idiots. Look, I mean, he said he'll step out, but look, here's my concern. Here's my genuine concern, and I say this as someone who sits on the right of politics. I don't like what Trump's doing, and I don't like the direction he's taken. I guess segments of the right in the US, and there's a lot of people who are on the right in the US who don't like him. My concern is I don't want there to be enough of a divide that in 4 years he's running again.
Oh, that would be dreadful.
That's the worst case scenario.
Oh,
he just needs to be forgotten.
Now
he'll run out of money fighting. He will fight this shit and say he won till the day he dies. And not only that, the amount of lawsuits that are coming his way, I don't think they'll be federal. I think Biden should go after him. He should not let him get away with this. But the whole idea of the transfer of power and let's make peace, I'm pretty sure he will do that. But he has a lot of state, especially coming out of New York. I think there's stuff coming out of DC because of the inauguration scandal. So he is going to spend. That's why he's doing what he's doing right now. It's a scam to get everybody to give him money because he only owes nearly $1 billion. But if the tax thing comes back, it's like $420 million right now. But he is also going to end up with a shit ton of lawsuits. So I don't think he'll be able to run that. Honestly,
I would be surprised if there is anything from a government point of view, because I don't think, even as much as they dislike him, I don't think any governor, Republican or Democrat, or any high-ranking political official wants to ever set the precedent of a president or a leader being charged. That's why with Nixon they pardoned him. It was straight. The first act was, he's the pardon, because they look after their own, and as much as they hate him and as much as he's the outsider, they don't want to set that precedent. But let's move on from that, because I think it's something that's clearly probably a little bit emotive, and I think that like I think, and it's a fair comment that you said, Manda. I don't live in the US. I'm observing it from the outside, and I haven't lived that experience, and I respect that, and really, as much as I can comment on the academic and the academic side of things, I can't comment on the experience, and I can't comment on your lived experience, Ed's lived experience, or the experience of anyone else in the US. I love America. I'm an Australian. I love Australia first. I love America. But my son, I've got a 6-year-old who he can name the capital or every state of the US in alphabetical order and the capital. He's obsessed with the country. We've had to say to him a few times, stop talking about the bloody US.
I've always told you, I'm pretty sure your kids only love me because of my accent.
Well, it's funny because there's been a few times where he's been here, my son, and he'll be sort of he'll be hanging out there, and it's normally when I'm doing a day stream, and he'll hear the American voices, and he'll be like, oh, they're from America. And I've had to, it was funny. I finished a stream with Steve McRae a few weeks back. And at the end of it, we got off, I've gone, everyone, there's a heap of Americans on. I was the token Aussie on the stream. I said, everyone, can you all just hang around for a minute? Because my 6-year-old son loves America. Can I just bring him in? And he was just like, where are you from? And he's telling people about where they live. It's even like he insisted, like Jay had to go and get photos of Lake Michigan for him. I need photos of Lake Michigan because he loves Lake Michigan. And he told Jay what the capital of Lake, he said, do you know what the capital of Michigan is to Jay? And Jay's like, yes, but it's insane. So look, I guess the point I'm making is I say what I say with love for the US because I really do think you're one of the greatest nations ever. I think it's certainly a great civilization on this planet. You're Australia's best friend, and we want you to drink all of our wine because the Chinese won't. Well, the Chinese can't because it's too expensive now. But look, I say this with a lot of love because I think stability in America can only be a good thing. I think you're 5 weeks away from stability in America.
I hope so.
I think
5
so.
weeks?
I think so.
It's longer than that, isn't it?
It's next month.
The meme that
I know it's next month. 22nd, only 5 weeks away.
He broke his foot. I love that. That cracks me up. Sorry.
Who broke his foot?
Because Joe Biden broke his foot playing. But the
left and the right had fun with that one.
Yeah. So
yeah. The Democrats have gone from Barack Obama shooting hoops and
that was so
super athletic.
Cool, throwing that three into
that 3-pointer. How cool was that? It was just like boss moment. It's just like walks away. I'm just like, okay, yeah. He's cool. He's cool. That man has a hell of a lot of charisma. Like seriously,
yeah,
I think if he would be in his like 4th term if that was possible.
It's quite sexy too. So
doesn't do it for me, but I'll take your word for that.
He is sexy, Mandy. You are right. He is quite sexy.
He is. A lot of it has to do with his charisma and stuff, but yeah, he is definitely
absolutely.
We've got men who are better, Amanda.
That was
we got ScoMo on the atheist pastor.
No, we're not talking about you.
But that was how Angel actually supported Biden during, before the election, because he doesn't love Biden, so he wore an Obama hat. He was like, "This is me supporting Biden," without actually having to say I support Biden.
Can I drag it back to topic and say something that's going to piss you off, Chris?
Sorry.
About
Go ahead. Piss him off how you want.
If it's Australian politics, I may have an opinion.
During Jimmy's thing, he pushed some of his merchandise, a particular piece of his merchandise, which was Sky Daddy supports trans rights, a t-shirt that he is selling. He used this particular platform to push his sale of his trans rights supporting t-shirt that only puts money in his own pocket.
He's a fuckwit.
Well, do you
seriously the guy's a fuckwit?
Do you think maybe he feels like if people are wearing it, they're like, I know it doesn't, but do you think maybe just to him he feels like people wearing it gets awareness out or something like that?
I think he probably does think that as well. I honestly think he thinks he's doing a good thing, but again, it comes back to the public image of it. He's using Elliot's transition to sell a t-shirt that doesn't put. I mean, if that t-shirt was putting like when Shannon Q did her sexual humanists promo, and it all went to an LGBTQ plus organization under the name of Ken Ham, just to piss Ken Ham off. That was fucking awesome, and that was a worthwhile thing. If Jimmy was saying, "Oh, all the proceeds this month from this T-shirt are going to an LGBTQ plus organization," I'd be, yes, that's a good thing. But because that money's going in his own pocket, he is profiteering from his bad tone and the way he's carried this out.
I'm not a big fan of people.
I think that's a good. Look, I think people know that I don't particularly like him, and in not a similar situation, but I guess my situation was he made a comment on something that was happening in Australian politics in a particular piece of legislation.
Oh yeah.
He he was wrong in what he said, and I'll say he's wrong because it was blatantly errors everywhere. And I'd mentioned that, and this is when I had about 40 or 50 subscribers, so I was pretty fresh at this point. So almost a year ago, actually.
In fact, I think that's what started Six Pack.
He went after me.
Oh, isn't it?
He went after me.
Isn't that what started Six Pack?
No, Six Pack happened before that. So
before that, well, I know we did talk about this on Six Pack.
Yeah, we did. It's
we did.
Yeah, we did talk about the legislation, but the thing is, when he was corrected on it, rather than actually apologise, acknowledge it, his response was, "How dare you, say that my research isn't good? I researched," and he linked a few articles from The Guardian, which is an online far left newspaper that just hates. Like has a hate boner like there's no tomorrow for our current government because they got rid of the guy who brought it to Australia, which was our former Prime Minister. So it was just, but it was just an opinion piece. So, and that was his entire research. Now, I'm someone who is active has studied Australian politics, and actually stood as a candidate for the party who is currently introducing the legislation, and have actually forwarded submissions for the legislation and been active in what it is. I mean, I actually know this law very, very well. But what would I know? I'm only an expert on it. I didn't read a couple of articles on The Guardian, and I'm not Jimmy Snow, the expert on everything. So this seems to be his MO. And he seems to do this with a lot of things. But I personally think the guy's an arsehole. And look, I really have issues with him over him going after me when I was brand new, and then not just that, but all the hordes of his bloody all the people who love him blindly and worship him because he's so wonderful, then going after me, He didn't seem to have a problem with that. He was, there was no, hey, I'm coming here from a position of power, which he was, especially at that time. Now I don't give a shit. I'll tell him to his face he's a fuckwit. But back then I was brand new in the community. And I'm just like, holy shit, what's happening? And I almost left the community that day. He almost pushed me out of the community before I was even in it. So it's that's the kind of person he is. So it's when you say he was then trying to sell his merchandise that happened to have something to do with it. You know what? Here's my challenge for him: prove me wrong. Prove that you're a decent human being. Acknowledge what you did was wrong with not my stuff, but with the Elliot video. Acknowledge that you should have had trans voices on there and that you should have lifted those trans voices up, and every single dollar of profit that you get for selling one of those shirts that you shilled while you were doing that, donate it to a trans cause or to the trans community or whoever people in the trans community suggest that you donate that money to. Prove me wrong. I would be so happy.
Considering he used GLAD's content to do his video, donate it to GLAD.
There you go.
And Donna, I am bitter. I hate.
No, I was actually going to speak to that though, because there are actually quite a few creators in the community that have kind of rabid followers. It's not always their fault, but it's fucked. They need to, if that happens, they need to be able to step in and say, please don't attack these people that I've had a disagreement with. Not doing that, especially when you're talking about such a difference of power there with Chris being a new and tiny channel and Jimmy knowing who, it's not bitterness. It's fucked up when that happens, because there are quite a few, subsections of our community that are really rabid for the creators that they love. And I understand that we have creators that we adore, but it shouldn't be, follow, seek, and destroy because we love. It's not fair. It's okay.
Don't replace God with a YouTube content creator.
No.
Whatever you except for God, you can have.
Well, we're all just humans, and we all make mistakes. And if we can't own our own fucking mistakes, get off the airwaves.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be speaking out your voice if you're not prepared to own it when you fuck up.
I can tell you now, if I saw a stack of it, and I'm nowhere near his level, I probably won't be because I don't.
Sell
It's
yourself.
just, it's it's not my thing anyway. But if I was ever at some point, my channel's growing, it'll get bigger. If I ever saw that happen where I'm having a disagreement with someone and then all these people start messaging them, going after them in the comment section, I would be going, hey, no, not cool. We're having a disagreement here. I don't need everyone else coming in and attacking this person. Let's just have a conversation about it. But I think in Jimmy's case, he loves the attention and the adoration. So,
and I will say categorically, everybody who's on this panel, and I'll add Jay into that because he's not actually here at the moment. If one of us fucks up, we are the first person to tell the other person that we've fucked up.
Oh yeah,
we really are.
Jen tells me all the time.
Oh yeah, I tell Chris he's an ass all the time.
Well, now listen, I'm going to change the subject a little bit. Everybody's favorite heathen holiday is coming up.
No. You're a week early.
Saturnalia.
It's coming up. It's soon enough. Regardless.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Saturnalia.
Yeah, regardless.
So I'm just going to say this. So next week on Six Pack, we're going to be looking at the origins and talking about Christmas. And the week after, we're having our Six Pack Christmas party.
Oh, come on! Always be there.
Regardless of
go on, Ed. Go on.
Regardless of what the theists think, especially Christians, Christmas is a heathen holiday. It's always had pagan roots and whatever. And I got an early Christmas present from my beautiful wife, Amber.
It's not pagan. Not pagan. I'm just going to say.
Will you stop rubbing your coffee in my face this morning, Ed? What the fuck? I am.
Oh, yeah.
Caffeine.
Blatant advertising from Ed. We talked about this, Ed.
I got the early Christmas present from my beautiful wife, my biohazard coffee beans.
Love it.
Yeah, I agree with Chad Hall. I celebrate Newton's birthday on the 25th.
I know and people will get this later, but I know what Angel got me for Christmas, or is going to get me for Christmas, which is Mando's ship, because outside of the TIE fighters, it's my favorite ship in all of the Star Wars universe.
What is it called? What is Mando's ship called?
That's the thing. I can never fucking remember the name of it for some fucking reason, and he always yells at me for it. But I don't know. I just love it. It's gorgeous.
It reminds me of Firefly.
Yeah, that's. I think
like that.
It looks like the Firefly ship, and I love that ship too.
So I'm just gonna quickly say, Christmas is not pagan in origin. The pagans have actually stolen it, and then the Christians stole it from the pagans. It's actually it has its origins in it's the solstice. So the shortest day of the year in the Western Hemisphere is the 21st of December. On our side, it would be, if you're in the northern side of our planet, or where we are on the planet, it's the 22nd, because the longest day for us, so our summer solstice is the 22nd. So
that would still be pagan though, Chris.
No. It's actually to do with they track the seasons, so they knew when it was time to plant different crops.
Yeah, but it was still a religious thing. From
not always. No, not always.
Not always, but enough of it was. Right, this is going to be a good conversation. I might not be here this time. Damn it.
When you want to chat this.
Are you here next week, Nanda?
What?
Are you on next week?
I'm having a procedure today, so I don't think I'll be able to. But I'll be on the next week. But
I might not be there because I might actually be driving back from Albany that day. So
exciting.
Actually, yeah. So sorry.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, to Atengele's credit, he was here a couple of weeks ago, and he was sort of engaging in the chat probably at a time where it wasn't appropriate. We mentioned it to him, and he was very respectful afterwards. So
yes, he's one of the most respectful, far Christians that are,
To answer your question, Atengele, we can try for this side of Christmas, but it will probably be the other side of Christmas. I am keen to have a conversation with you. It's just it's a bit crazy at the moment. So Yeah, but no, I definitely do want to. I'm familiar with you. It's I remember when you used to call into the ACA shows, and I do remember you from that, and always enjoyed your conversations with Eric Murphy. So yeah, it's I guess I was a fan of yours before I was even in the community at Tangelo. Yeah, happy to have a conversation. We'll do.
Razor Crest. Fuck, sorry. Thank you, Peter. I'm sorry.
Excellent. And yes, Peter's right. It is the 22nd. And I know that because it's my father's birthday. And he always talks about that his birthday is the longest day of the year. And he's really, really happy about that. But then he's pissed off it's so close to Christmas. And he always gets birthday and Christmas presents combined. That's his pet hate. My wife, Lucy Lou, she's the 21st of December. So when I first met her and I found out what her birthday was, I said, oh, you must hate it when you get the combined birthday Christmas presents. And she looked at me with this loving look and went, yes, you understand. I'm just like, years of dealing with my father. Yep, cool. It's paid off finally. So anyway, she married me.
Same problem here, Chris, because I'm 4th of January. So
I'm the 16th of June, so I'm laughing.
My ex and I, our anniversary was the 21st. So yeah. Kind of sucks. People that have stuff so close to Christmas.
Now, a very, very good point here from Gary. What's your language, Manda? Innocent Aussies here. We don't swear in this country. You see, we're very, very quiet, very civil.
Never read fucking where it crosses these lips.
Fuck no. I often it's whenever people come here from overseas, I think they're actually amazed by how loose we are with our language.
Yeah.
And how something that could be the worst insult in another country is actually a term of endearment here.
It's hilarious, especially if you're talking to somebody from the UK and they go, "You're not very ladylike, are you?" And I go, "You got no idea what a lady's like in Australia. You fucking up."
Let's not talk about UK women. I have heard Robbie's mother call him a cunt.
Irish.
I thought you were about to go back to Donna then, and
oh my god, she's got a
I'm not talking about Donna. Donna knows how to swear.
Love Donna.
No, she doesn't. Donna can't spell.
Nuts.
she put a C in front of nuts.
Yeah, I love you, Donna.
Australian, I'll tell you what, Australian. We speak good Australian here, and we occasionally might have a bit of colourful language. I guess it's Peter's right. There are no swear words in Australia.
They're all just words.
They're just words.
So it was like I think that might be part of the reason that I have the mouth that I do, because I have 2 older brothers, and they taught me all the swear words when I was like really, really little, because it was very taboo in my house. You couldn't say hell. You would get in trouble. So
fuck.
It was bad.
Your house wouldn't have lasted long in Australia.
No. Even to this day, my mother, she will get really upset if I say fuck in front of her. I'm old enough. I'm sorry it upsets you, but your God upsets me, so it's fine.
We've got someone who's going to debate all 4 of us at once for an easy victory. Cool.
I don't debate Christianity. I'm a scientist. That's
you know what? I'm just going to give up now. I'm intimidated. I'm just going to convert to Christianity. I never studied it to begin with, so I don't know much about the religion. Please teach me and tell me why I should reconvert. I mean, I only got a Bachelor of Theology.
So you're converting from Hindu, are you, Chris?
No. I went to Scientology after Hinduism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's well, funny enough, if I had gone on the debate with Dawkins and I had have not. If I had been able to keep going down that path, I guess, before he just kept asking the same question that I answered and not moving on. I was actually going to convert to Scientology and say, right, so can you explain to me, we're going to start with the principle that Lord Xenu is in galactic jail, and that's where we have to start. That Lord Xenu is our primary.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Darth had challenged me to a debate a while back. This is when I was going back and forth with Reverend Mac on Twitter, somebody from the creativity movement, and I was trying to debate him. And Darth had sent me where did he send that to? I think he put that in my comments on my channel about debating me. Well, Darth, if you want to debate me on why white supremacy is wrong, then yeah, I'll debate you. Other than that, I'm not interested.
Yeah. I now have to know, man.
I'm just going to quickly say, Tangelo made a comment there that I'm actually going to address this, that not so keen to have a conversation with believers. Did I not just say like 2 minutes ago that I would have a conversation? I may not be able to do it before Christmas because, I mean, it's Christmas, but certainly just after. I mean, I have a look at my channel. I mean, I've got former Christian missionaries. I've engaging with Christians on a regular basis. I had a Christian author who I interviewed and had a conversation with a month ago. I'll talk to you, Tangelo. You've got to understand that the realities of real life and the real world doesn't mean that I just live on here. I mean, I do a show once a week, and even then I can't always get to that show once a week. I've actually got a life outside of YouTube. I'm happy to make time and have a conversation with you. If you're going to go down the disrespectful route, well, we won't bother. But so long as you're respectful about it, we'll have the conversation. But if you're going to
1,000 fucking times, but when you speak to him face to face, he's very respectful. But I
know. But if he's going to be a keyboard warrior in the meantime, well, there's a lot of other Christians who I'll have conversations with instead. In fact, I talk to Christians every day. I mean, some of my best friends are Christians. I mean, hell, I was a freaking pastor, for Christ's sake. You think I don't know any Christians? Anyway,
it's not.
Show some respect, and we'll have the conversation.
Yeah. I don't know why that keeps coming up. I don't know a lot of atheists that do the opposite, that tell Christians, "Oh, you're afraid of me." I don't know why that's some kind of trope within.
I do that with Darth Dawkins, but that's just because Darth Dawkins. I'm just using but I'm using his words against him. When I stole his own apologetics to use against him, I also had the plan to steal his whole attitude afterwards against him as well. So that was just me having fun, because Darth's Darth.
And like I said, Chris is the expert here. My name may be Mama Atheist, but I don't deal in, I'll speak to some religious issues with other secular people on my channel, but I mostly speak about science. I don't know, and I grew. But
that's who you are.
Yeah.
Just because someone's an atheist doesn't mean that they're wanting to have a debate with every Christian and fight them on the street, and they're experts in philosophy and religion. I mean, I know philosophy. I know nothing about philosophy. I'm not a philosopher. So when people if I want philosophy advice, I go to Steve McRae, because he knows his stuff there. He starts talking, I'm just like going, yeah. But when it comes to religion and history of religion and history in general, I'm a historian. I've studied a Bachelor of Theology, a Bachelor of Ministry. I've led church. Well, I haven't. Sorry, I'll rephrase it. I've been in leadership at churches, and certainly been on the. I've spoken. I've preached at churches. I've led youth groups. I've led adult groups. I can speak to that on science. I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason I'm getting Mandro to talk about climate change, because that's her area of expertise. Not every atheist is an expert. Yeah.
We hand it to Chris when it comes to the Bible. We hand it off to Dr. Josh, and Dr. Josh will. That's his trope. He will say, he doesn't know something. He will say, "This is not my area of expertise," and all of us will rely on that because we know where our strengths and weaknesses lie. We don't pretend to know everything. So,
and let me tell you, listening to Dr. Josh as a historian, it's just like I love talking to Dr. Josh. He's so cool. He's so cool. He was in here last week, actually, but I've got to. I actually have to get him on to talk about his new book, because I just love Dr. Josh.
See, Manda's wrong about one thing, though. I do pretend to know everything because I'm God. I do what I want.
I do what I want. I mean, the difference between us and a lot of these Christian apologists is that when we are, even if we have an opinion on something, if we're shown to be wrong, we adjust our opinion to the evidence because we follow the evidence, and that is the thing. And I like being corrected because you learn something.
I love it. Hey, we all believe in God. It turns out I believe in God. There you go. Isn't that good? I just let me guess. Yeah. I know he exists. I don't care because I want to sin. I really want to sin. That's got to be it.
Listen, Philip,
I love it when they bring the greatest hits.
Everybody should believe in the God. I mean, I'm right here talking to you, buddy. So,
of course, the big question there, Philip, is which God exists? There have been so many in human history. Which God? Is it Apollo?
I'm going to guess he's a believer, just for the fact we've got Christian in there, but he's a believer in the lightning and thunder God of the ancient Hebrew people, also known as Yahweh.
Yahweh.
That's what I'll go with. Thunder gods have been pretty popular throughout history.
He might go with the ancient Hebrew God of El as well. I mean, you don't know. It could be.
Could be. Yep. Although they're not all that ancient. I mean, really, they're only 2,500 years old. I mean,
it's not an ancient religion. Not like not like Hinduism.
You're so mean.
Actually, Hinduism probably. I think the writings of Hinduism probably date to about the same time. But I mean, Zeus is much older.
Oh, Zeus is much older. Yeah. Oh, what about worshipping Amun Ra?
You
that's even older.
Weird tangent. You know that?
What we have, but I mean, Philip brought it up. It's like, does God God exists? Well, which God do we know exists?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
We know that God exists.
I believe in it.
Prepared to show his face. I can't recall when any other God was prepared to show their face. I know, Philip, you're going to say, but Jesus. But you'd have to prove to me that Jesus actually walked on the earth and was actually divine in the first place.
I met that guy in prison.
Jesus.
Dude, we were on this stream
channel
talking about whether, talking about Jesus and whether or not he's fuck me. I mean, there was infighting within just the atheist community about it. It was nuts. People are crazy. But anyway.
Hey, Philip, I don't care if it's a waste of your time. And
sweetheart, no. Okay. Hi, I'm Amanda.
Amanda.
Okay. Energy and matter do not prove God. In fact, energy and matter almost disprove God as their ability to create everything around us without the necessity of a fucking creator. And don't give me this, well, where did it come from bullshit. You can't pull that shit because your creator, where the fuck did he come from then? Okay. Yes, we do not have.
I can answer that from the minds of people who were in Babylonian captivity 2,500 years ago.
There you go.
Oh, that explains everything, Chris.
But Philip, this isn't the we want to sit here and debate Christians channel. This is Friday Night Six Pack where we're sitting around enjoying each other's company, and this is a community show. This isn't about people who want to come in and play silly buggers. At least with Atangelo, he's been pretty reasonable and respectful. I couldn't give a shit if it's wasting your time. It's good. I hope it's wasting your time because that means you're not annoying other people. So knock yourself out, buddy.
There's one more thing I'd like to say to Philip, though. Philip, you may as well have just written, look at the trees, because that's exactly the level of fucking argument you just gave.
Hang on, Philip. Philip, do you have a watch? Do you have a watch?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I get it. Okay,
did that watch have a maker? Yes. Checkmate, atheist.
It's hard. And unless you've actually studied it, like Jen and I to an extent, and Chad to an extensive degree, it's like, what, I don't understand it. So let's stick God in there. It doesn't fucking work that way. It just doesn't. And there are people like Jen, like myself, like Chad, that do fucking understand that shit. So don't come to us and say that energy and matter proves God. That is like saying, my son, when my son was 3, if he came to me and handed me a green crayon and said, "This proves frogs because it's green," it's fucking stupid. So don't. Just
Anteljo, you're being respectful here, but I will answer to what you just said about God being eternal. God isn't eternal. God has existed as long as your particular God has existed for as long as when somebody first came up with the idea of that particular God, and it evolved into the God that you worship now. And it will disappear in a couple of thousand years ago when we've either moved on from religion altogether or we've moved on to an entirely different type of religion. Gods are transient things created by the culture of the time. They are cultural creations. And they're because we are social animals and we have a desire to know about things. And when we don't know about things, we fear, in our primal nature, we fear things we don't understand. So we make up gods to fill in the gaps. Gods were always gods of the gaps. As we've grown as a species, we've learnt more, we know more. We no longer need gods of the gaps. So that's my rant on that.
Interesting dichotomy, though, because you almost have God and science being birthed from the same place, because God was created as an explanation to things, because we needed, like Jen said, we for some reason as humans we need to know the answers, and that's what's allowed us to progress as we have, because finding those answers has given us science and technology that has progressed us forward. But at the same time, almost not even completely on the opposite end of that coin, we have science because we were trying to find those answers instead of just giving a blanket explanation and saying, "Oh, creator did it." So,
well, here I have a question for Philip Christian. Since you claim to have proved God to the Rage, aka Naka, how come he doesn't believe in God yet?
Christian? Is he the raging Christian now, or
yeah,
guess so.
Okay, Intelligent. I would love to answer that question about can something come from nothing, because your understanding of nothing is flawed here. When science talks about nothing, we are not talking about the absolute non-existence of anything, because what does that even mean? But this is not the stream to even talk about that. The level of science understanding you have to understand that is something that's going to require you to have a few years at a college level degree. Yeah. But it's suffice to say, the universe didn't come from nothing. The universe came from a fluctuation of the quantum sea, basically. And when we talk about the quantum sea, we talk about the probability of particles within the vacuum within the quantum vacuum. The universe came from that, and that was not nothing. That was.
I've got a suggestion for a Tangelo. I'll put this to a Tangelo, and you don't have to say yes, because I don't want you to think I'm about to put you in a position where you're about to get ganged up on by a bunch of atheists. But when we do a stream, because look, when it comes to science, I'm not a scientist. Physics, all that kind of stuff. I can't answer that stuff. Jen and Amanda can. On the history side of things, I can have those conversations. On the religious side of things, I can have those conversations. If you're prepared to have a conversation maybe with on the science side of things with maybe Jen or someone else, let's do that.
I'm going to address something.
I'd say have that conversation with Chad rather than me.
I'm going to address something. Philip put a comment in here. The Rage admitted to converting to Christianity during our debate. Ha ha. I remember who you are because I saw that debate, and that's a blatant lie.
I'm sure if anything to that effect was said, it was said the same way Chris said he's now a Hindu. But I am really good friends.
It was.
You saying that I'm not a Hindu?
Sorry, Chris.
It was the fact that he said, okay, we will agree, that God exists, for this question, whatever, for this debate. He did not.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing with Darth Dawkins, because he couldn't get past it. I said, look, for the sake of the debate, let me, for the sake of the debate, concede there's a God. Now prove it's your way. Let's just move past this, because we're just going around in circles. That's not converting to Christianity. I mean,
no,
I've helped. Philip, I've helped a lot of people convert to Christianity.
Yeah, and Philip, I know you have that video on your channel, and you're being very disingenuous by trying to put words in somebody's mouth. He did not convert to Christianity.
Here, you know.
Yeah.
And if he genuinely converted to Christianity under the tenets of Christianity, he would still be a Christian right now. Once you are truly saved, that's it.
Because Josh was watching that stream, and he just confirmed that Knock was being absolutely sarcastic when he said that. You have proved nothing, but that Knock can be just like us, a little, snitty sometimes because you guys get annoying. He was being fucking sarcastic.
Anyway, as entertaining as Philip's been, I think there's a lot more interesting.
I don't mind talking to IntelliJ. He's fine, and I would have these science conversations with him, and that's perfectly fine. And to answer his other thing, the universe was never absolutely nothing. Science doesn't deal in absolutely nothing. If you want to have, but neither do you, because you are just shifting the goalpost here. You don't believe in a universe that came from nothing. You believe in a God, and your God is not a nothing. So if you're going to say that, where does your God come from? Then you're going to special plead and say, "Oh, God's eternal." We're saying that the quantum nature of the universe is eternal.
If you talk
Gary's correct. Gary is correct.
We will tell you that the universe, like you said, is eternal. Think of the equation: E equals mc squared. Energy and mass can be converted into one another. So that is the simplest explanation I can give you as to your idea that it just popped into existence. Just read a little bit. That none of us are saying there. I have never met a single physicist or astrophysicist that has said that the universe just magically popped into existence by itself. Never fucking said that. And I understand.
The universe did not come from nothing. There was.
The theory, like the Big Bang Theory, kind of gives that impression to people who don't understand the science. Just read a little bit into it further. It's not that difficult, honestly.
Do you understand, IntelliJ, that something can be finite?
Hang on. It's not that difficult, says the scientist. We ain't all as smart as you. me and Ed here are just sitting here just going,
yeah,
these bloody smart people, seriously. I mean, I'm doing a PhD, and I feel stupid with you guys.
Do you understand, IntelliJ, that something can be both finite and eternal?
Anyway, let's move on. Oh dear, Philip. Philip's funny. I actually, you know what? I think I like Philip. Philip's funny. Philip reminds me of Darth. I like that.
Go check out his channel. That'll give you a laugh.
Hey, actually, you know what, Philip? Send me a message on Twitter, and stuff it. Let's do it. We'll set something up. I'm talking to Atangelo first because Atangelo is much nicer than you. But yeah, okay, sure. Let's do it. Send at atheist_pastor. Send me something on Twitter if you're genuine. I'll have the conversation with you.
Yeah. So Chris is the guy you go to. Again, some of us, like myself, I don't have the background in theology that Chris has, and I will admit to that. And I will pass it off to Chris, or I will pass it off to Dr. Josh, because I don't have that kind of background. And but we will admit to that, and we will say that we don't know everything. We will also admit when we're wrong, and amend our thinking. And I think that's very important. As a species alone, there's no way we could have progressed had we been stuck in one, area of thinking and stayed there, even with the proof of, with having evidence right in front of our faces. So,
and Philip, I only ever use StreamYard, so if you want to stream it onto your channel live at the same time, you are more than welcome to do that. Anyway, we're moving on. We're moving on from Philip. Because there's more interesting people like Dr. Josh in the channel. And Jay! Woohoo!
Hey, Jay.
Can I just say one more thing to Atangelo? Sweetheart, trust me when I say I know better than you. Okay? That's it. Just let it go. Okay? Chris, what do you want to talk about now?
Yeah, let's shift topics.
I'm typing. This was only going to be a 1 hour stream, you know. It never ever works out that way, does it?
No.
You want to wrap it up, Chris?
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. It has been a fun one. Although, you know what? I could go for a little bit longer.
Well, we could bring Jay in if he's home now.
I think he was working late. He was working late.
I can jump in.
No, he says I can't.
Okay, he
I
said I
can't
can't.
jump in. Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's working late.
Devil horn that I can't get to stay down, and it's really fucking bugging the shit out of me. I'm sorry. So let's
shut
talk
up.
about
At least you got hair.
the thing, like I woke up probably a little over an hour before the stream, and the first message I have is from, you seen The Mandalorian yet? Which had come out less than an hour before that message. So I watched it while I was.
Do you think I wasn't sitting there hitting refresh on Disney Plus, waiting for? I mean, you get it at a really terrible time. I get it at 7 p.m. on a Friday.
Normally, Angel will actually come wake me up, or sometimes, a lot of times, when I have insomnia. He will stay up until 3 a.m. on a Friday morning and come get me, and we will go watch it. But he wasn't feeling good last night, so I think that's why he didn't. So
you know what? That's a good son. That's a good son.
He is
a very good kind son.
Yes.
Yeah,
he can be a dick sometimes. That's because he's just like me, so I can't help it. But he is. He's a very good son.
It happens. I'm still trying to find that photo for you as well. I know I've got it somewhere. I just can't work out.
Oh, he is going to love it. He has a collection of pictures from people that have built their own like suits and stuff like that. He is going to love that. He actually, one of the Christmas presents he wants that he's been asking for years is a Clone Trooper helmet, like a full-on one. So I want to get that for him. That's our thing.
Hang on, I've just found it. I have just found it.
Ooh.
It's on my Instagram, so I don't know how to really get that across here. There's got to be a way to save the photo. We're gonna, I'm gonna work it out while I only own a social media company. I should know this shit. But, I also employ people for Instagram because I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. So I will.
Oh, my story. Okay, then I'll tell I think Jeff left.
Tell your story.
But so yesterday, I come across this guy on Twitter. Somebody had posted a picture. I have this shirt that says like, climate change is real, chemtrails are not real, that kind of shit, the normal stuff. Sciencey stuff. Science is real, whatever. Somebody had posted a picture of somebody else, an older man who had this shirt, but it was, a conspiracy theorist was like, look at how stupid this person is, sharing their stupidity. So I, went in the thread and posted a picture of myself with the show. I have this shirt too. And so I start getting attacked about how stupid I am because I believe the earth is not flat and shit like that from this one guy. And Dave jumps in and I mentioned, he said something, Dave told him to get educated before he could speak to these issues. And because Dave and I had this, interaction with Mark Sargent a while back, the one where I told him to suck my dick.
Did you speak with Mark Sargent?
Yes, I did.
It was the best comeback ever.
But wait, this gets better. So he said something, and Dave is like, "Wait, are you Mark Sargent?" Immediately got blocked. So it was actually one of fucking Mark's sock accounts, and we had pulled him into it, saying, "Oh, Mark Sargent," because I had said Mark Sargent would call you indoctrinated for wanting to be educated. And he did not fucking like that, but it was hilarious because we had no idea it was him, and we were talking shit about him, and then he blocked us. So that was fun. That was
all
fun.
Right. I've got something for you all. It's more for Manda. I'll be honest. It's more for Manda.
Make sure you send it to me too, so I can show it to Angel.
That was in my shop.
That is nice.
Now, man,
That was on a mannequin. So the full thing. Actually, that photo doesn't really do it much justice. But he had the gun, everything. It was insane. It was absolutely one of the coolest things.
Cool.
Yes, never again a sock puppet account. That is gorgeous. Did he make it himself? The guy who owned the
Yeah. He made it himself. He made some of the stuff he made was insane. Like he had this I don't play it, but an Overwatch character that was instantly recognizable. He did some Space Marine stuff, and like some of the because we used to have we'd have Free Comic Book Day and Batman Day every year, and we'd have cosplay competitions. And some of the cosplayers we used to get, it was amazing. We had one guy.
Cosplay.
I bet you did. Jen is the naughty nurse, of course.
I've done Officer Jenny from Pokemon.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, good name.
And yeah, it's an awesome name. And Tamari from Naruto. I actually made my own fan for it.
It's like,
I got pictures somewhere. It could be ages ago.
Speaking of nerds, holy shit! So, Uhan Roderick had a stream the other night, a nerd trivia stream, and it had 5 categories plus an overall category. I fucking crushed that shit. I won 3 of the 5 categories and the overall against GE and Casey and Shannon Q. Like, I don't, they might be kind of mad at me for
no one messes with Mama Atheist.
But the thing was, because the overall prize was this Dragon Ball Z character, because they give prizes out for everything, and that was all I wanted. So I went at it kind of hard because I wanted to get it for Robbie because he really loves Dragon Ball Z, and it was a special like Goku Black thing. So I might have been a bit competitive on it, but it was fun. So if you get a chance, check out. I think it's NDX. It's Uhan's stream or channel that he does with everybody doing their trivia. It was a shit ton of it was the most fun I've had in a long time. Just hanging out and answering the questions and shit with a bunch of people. It was fun. So, and he's thinking
we've got
about
a confession from Donna, Atheist Donna in the chat.
Oh, I've already responded. Look, Donna keeps making these claims, but I'm a natural skeptic, and I require.
You need photos to prove it, right?
Trust.
Just as a skeptic, people have said, "Trust me, there's a Jesus," and I took that on blind faith. I don't know if I can take this on blind faith, but anyway. One thing I do want to say is anyone who hasn't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm at 649 subscribers. It'd be really cool to get to 650 right now. That'd just be a cool number. 666 would be even better. There'd have to be a stream for that, but
666
just for the laugh of it. But
let's get Chris the 666 number next week, because then we can have the Antichrist history of Christmas.
Well, actually, I'm more thinking the real history of Christmas, but I'm sure that those nice folks at the Satanists have got their own version of it. But I don't know. It's I don't take any. And yes, Donna, it's not Christmas yet. Hey, it's Lissy.
Yeah, look who showed up. Hi, Lissy.
Yeah. She's she's gone away for the weekend to get away from me, but she just can't get enough. She just has to listen in. Although, in all fairness, she's not here for me. She's here for the other 3. Like she knew Mandarin and Jen tonight. And look, I'm just the pretty face here. Look,
that's what always said. She loves me most of all. So sorry, Chris.
Yeah, I know. I accept this. I know I have my lot in life, and it is what it is. So, such is life.
He plays with his second fiddle all the time.
Well, I've been married for enough years, so
enough years. Ouch.
And I don't know if I think Lissy meant to say working hard, but working hand is really kind of an appropriate comment based on what she just said. So what can I say? Look, and in all fairness, it's not Lissy's fault. I have to be romanced. I have to, I'm not that easy. I play a bit of hard to get.
Oh, please. Please.
Yeah,
You should think you are.
I need to be wide.
His right arm's going to be well worked out after this weekend, Lissy. That's what it is.
Oh, look, all I can say, my right arm's like it's just like I'm Hulk Hogan. The left one's like I'm Steve Urkel. So,
well, at least it's not November anymore. So, not that anybody fucking follows that. So,
hey, I'm so glad that November's over, and I'm so glad that 2020 is almost over. This year can go and get fucked.
I mean, I'm happy with the last week of it.
No, I mean, they're obviously good points.
Hang on, did something happen, Jen? What happened in the last week? What happened that we're
We've
not
already
aware
discussed this.
of? Have
Really?
we?
I mean,
I feel as though you haven't said anything at all, anywhere.
Well, about my boyfriend. He's awesome.
Have you got a boyfriend?
I do.
Excellent. See, there we go. Isn't that wonderful? See, what you got to remember is, I mean, we've got about twice the viewers now that we had when we started, because when we started it was 5:30 in the morning in America, and now it's, I don't know, what time is it there?
7:16.
So people are waking up, having their brekkie, having their toast, getting ready, having their coffee, getting ready to go to work, thinking, listen to these drunken Aussies. I can't wait until tonight when I can be a drunken Aussie too.
We all aspire to be like the Aussies. Really.
That's it. It's good, you know. You should be more like us. I mean, and look, this is something that we Australians do for you Americans. You know, we're inspiring you and letting you know it's not that bad. The weekend is coming. See, it's already the weekend here.
But I have to work on the weekend. Yeah, sucks. But no,
I used to have to work on the weekend. I am so glad I don't anymore. So
well, you get to do your own shit, though. You're your own boss.
Well,
he does what he wants.
It's interesting. It's interesting you say that, but I do have a business partner, and she's rather demanding, and she tells me what to do all the time, and she's very, very mean to me. I'll have you know.
No, but you kind of deserve it, so it's okay.
She's the boss, Chris. You have to listen to her.
Well, I don't know. Is she the boss? Yeah, she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Definitively, if there is anything in the world that is absolutely definitive, it is that Lissy is your fucking boss.
Or I let her think that she's the boss. One of the two.
No,
she's definitely the boss.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? I can't argue the facts. You know, when I met her, she was this sweet, innocent Christian girl who loved Jesus, loved going to church, and they said to her, you know, it's just be careful. This boy will lead you away from Christ if you're not careful. And we laughed at them at the time.
But weren't you Christian too?
Right.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, but she was in the group of girls she was in. There was this one girl who was like the leader of, you know, and she was the very prim and proper, and you have to follow the steps according to the way that she says you had to follow the steps, and you know, you've got to do this step, and you can hold hands on the second or third date maybe, and you know, the dates had to be chaperoned, and I'm just like, we're not doing chaperone dates, like, you know, let's get real. Ironically, a few months after all this, I saw this same girl with getting rather friendly at a licensed venue with someone. So I had a bit of a chuckle about that. I'm just like, you fucking hypocrite.
I'm going to refresh really quick. I might pop up. Zach.
That's all right. We're just going to talk. All right, we can now bitch about Amanda. Let's bitch about Amanda.
You can bitch about Amanda. I'm not bitching about Amanda.
Oh, you're no fun, Jen.
Yeah, I know. I will tell her exactly what you say when she gets back.
That's true. And you're right. It was like Mean Girls. It was seriously like Mean Girls at that church. And yeah, it was. There was issues, and us in the leadership, we recognised there was issues with some of the, especially the young adult women leaders that had been probably pushed into leadership before they really should have been, but it was so structured. The churches, you went through this step and then that step, and you are forever moving up in the thing. Anyway, Jen, please stop bitching about Amanda. What was that? I heard a whisper. Amanda's whispering.
Yeah, we can't hear you properly, Amanda.
She whispered. I think she said that Ed's the worst or something. I can't believe she'd say that about you, Ed.
A lot of people think that. I'm an asshole. Deal with it.
Yeah, you realize Lissy just said that she's the bass.
She's the bass.
Yeah, not the boss. She's the bass.
She's the bass. She can be the bass. That's the bass. The bass guitar.
Bass.
She can be the
it's
bass.
all about the bass.
It's all about that bass.
About that bass. About that bass.
Oh, yeah. That takes me back to nightclubs in the early 2000s.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, no. Okay. I was going to say I have this image of you dancing, but I know you can actually dance because I've seen it. I've just never seen you attempt to nightclub dance before.
I've performed ballet in front of 1,500 people. I think it was.
And it was impressive. I would give you that.
No, it wasn't. It was freaking terrible.
No,
God.
for someone without any fucking training and being an adult, I'm telling you, I was very impressed. And I have the background for it.
Why do you assume I've had no training?
Because you've told me that.
I did years of classical ballet.
You grew up. Your mother was a ballet teacher, but you didn't take classes or anything like that.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
I got dragged along. Oh yeah, six-year-old me got dragged along to ballet. Yeah.
Okay. Well then, see, that's why you were decent. It's not like you went off and continued it, throughout your teenage years. So I was impressed. Just let me fucking give you that, Chris. Jesus Christ.
Okay, fine. Compliment me more.
Thank you.
Tell me more about me.
Don't
more
feed
about
his
me.
ego.
And then I'll throw across to Ed, Ed can say why he likes me, and then Jen can, and then we'll go back to this could be a good stream. We could go for a few hours.
Yeah, we're not feeding your ego. We're not creating another Jimmy.
Honest to God.
Damn it! But I've got opinions on things that I know nothing about that I need to tell everyone.
Right, but
and sell some merchandise.
Who the hell said I like you?
I know you love me.
No, I would not. It was about a year ago. I mean, it was a year ago this month that Chris and I met. He was the one who encouraged me to be a part of this community. I would not be here without him. I would not have a channel without him. I would not have my family without him. I'm gonna fucking cry now. God damn it! Cry twice on a stream.
I love you, Amanda, but I was joking when I said, "Tell me what you like about me."
I know you were joking, but I wanted to give you that because it's true. I mean, I said, it's been almost a year, and
if you build him up too much, Ed and I are going to have to hit him with the shovel.
Yeah, but that's fun. Watch that too. Just tear him down a little bit too.
Just tear him down a little bit.
That's what Lissy's for.
Already expanding.
No, Lissy just beats me.
I've seen that too. She comes in and gets a little swat on the arm for me.
You have. So. See, I can get away with it at the moment because she's hours away. She is hours away, and I'm reasonably safe. Although I could go to sleep and get punched in the arm in 3 hours. That could.
Yeah, you know that Lissy does not forget, right? Like she'll hold on to it.
I know. And
we know she's a bass, and fish never forget.
Donna's right. Stop. He's a dick. It's true.
I mean, yeah, but he's a very loving, caring dick.
So what you're saying is, I'm a nice dick.
Yes, very nice dick.
I think we can get a T-shirt out of this.
I'm a very nice dick.
Does
that mean
it's normally Jen that devolves the conversation this way? So I'm pretty impressed, Amanda.
I'm blaming Donna for that one. So
everyone blames Donna.
Does that mean Chris is the dick that a certain flat earther needs to suck?
Yeah, possibly.
Mark Sargent is not coming anywhere near me. Look, there's only one flat earther in my life, and that's Bobby Mack.
After this conversation, that was not a good thing to follow.
Bobby Mack, no, Bobby Mack shall not be sucking anything.
Fuck!
I need to stop this conversation.
She meant boss, not best. So, and which she is both of. But I would absolutely buy that shirt. That would be two dick shirts that I have because I have my suck my dick shirt too.
Everyone needs more dick shirts.
Yeah,
yeah.
I absolutely agree.
Oh dear. Donna. I'm just going to leave it at that.
I'm so glad it wasn't me that evolved this one. Thank you, man.
I'm so impressed that you're channeling your inner Jen.
Now I'm just thinking about Donna's ass, though. So, like,
well, it's hard not to, isn't it?
I know. God, she's adorable. Stop being so adorable, Donna. It's annoying. Just stop.
Hang on. Really quickly. You're a douchebag, Philip. You do realize I'm actually doing a fucking live show right now, and I'm not actually checking Twitter, waiting for your messages. Fucking idiot! Seriously. This is how you don't get again. I'm there. Sorry, everyone. I'm just going to go because Philip might send me a message, and I okay. It's just shown the complete douchebag. So anyway, we have a solution. We have a solution for douchebags on this channel.
Philip says they should try your OnlyFans account, but isn't Ed the only one with an OnlyFans account?
Oh, God damn it!
I don't know. Gary, you're in the chat. Can you just let us know if Ed does have an OnlyFans account, because he seems to know something about it. Incidentally, Philip's been timed out, and I'm just...
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Now listen, Gary, I know Chris is putting you up to this, but eventually someday I'm going to make it to Australia, and I'm going to give all of you grumpy lumps.
Hang on.
Good phrasing, that.
Can I just want to get something here. I'm going to share my Twitter. Okay. So the message that Philip sent me. Okay. I just going to point something out. Philip is saying I haven't responded. I've just gone. It was in the message requests, which is fine. I just thought I'll just have a look because I was half thinking he probably didn't send anything. So what he sent me is a StreamYard link.
So he expects you to get on another stream right now while you're on your own?
Expects me to jump in. Sorry, everyone. I'm going to end the stream because Philip really wants to talk to me.
Dude, we're doing a live stream, dick.
Like, you're literally watching us.
And he's just said another thing. Check this out. You know what? It's where do we go? And
you're a nobody? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Hi.
Come on.
I got much better things to do tonight than, like, I'd rather talk to these people than fucking Philip the Christian troll. Yeah, no,
and don't forget to go and check out Crappy Old Dude.
You don't understand this. You want to be able to have a conversation with someone. You're asking to do it, and the first thing you do is disrespect them. What the fuck?
Because he's full of shit. He's full of shit. He's a keyboard warrior. He's a keyboard warrior. You know, he's a big, brave person. You know, he's probably just a sad ass in real life. I mean, seriously, if all you've got time to do is sit around trying to provoke people in a YouTube chat that you've never ever come into or been involved in, trying to get people into debates, you know what? Darth Dawkins, is that you?
No,
I don't. No,
I know that, but Darth Dawkins does the same shit.
Yeah,
so.
it's very Darth Dawkins-esque. Just to
clarify for everybody, these right here will give you grumpy lumps.
Yeah, I wanted to address them. The grumpy lump.
I thought you were saying
that's what's in my office.
That's nice. Good for you.
That's nice.
That's Fruity Lumps only available. You cocksuckers.
Hashtag flappy old dude.
Fappy old dude. I love fappy old. Does that mean you're really a fod?
Oh man.
If I had an OnlyFans, it'd just be clips of lots of people talking in a Scottish accent.
So weird. Well, those are the only accounts only fan accounts you should subscribe to.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's true. That is.
And no, I
probably
do not
put
have
the
an
outtakes
OnlyFans.
of my masturbation video on there. I'm sure people would love to see that.
I think you kind of protest a little too much, Ed.
Yeah, you do.
Uh-huh.
What you doing, Chris?
Just sending a Tangelo a message. He said he messaged me on Twitter. It actually hasn't come through. It's atheist_pastor in case you send it to. I think there's someone who had atheist pastor and hasn't done anything with their account for like 20 years or something. But anyway. So in other news, we've got the scoop here. Donna's setting up an OnlyFans.
I would be your first subscriber, Donna.
Manda's subscribed. I guess that's one way to prove things. So,
Well,
hey, Artsy,
more of that Donna asked. No one's going to say no to that.
No.
Well, yeah, until we see the evidence. I mean, no.
What the hell's wrong with my dancing, Gary?
Yeah, what's wrong with Ed's dancing? Yeah.
You know,
everyone does the grumpy shuffle.
You got to do the double hand job thing. You know.
No.
That is so being cut now, Amanda, and put in the video.
Well, we'll have that right after Jen's tits almost fall out.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, thank you, Jay. Want to see Grumpy Lumps? Follow his OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/fappy old dude. You know what? We need to sort this out. We need to make this happen.
If I look that up and that's actually on there, somebody's getting beaten.
You know, I've never been to OnlyFans in my life. But I'm going to go there for the first time now, and I'm going to have a look and see if Fappy Old Dude is there.
You better not create a freaking OnlyFans for me.
Oh, I will. I will. Oh, Ed, I'm impressed. Wow. Hey. You work out, mate. You work out.
Amber steps in.
Nerdy, can you extract that footage for us, please?
Fuck you guys so hard.
I think this should happen.
I think it should happen.
You know, if you're gonna go that far, I could explain the what do they call it? The nerdy. Tell me what the name of my thing is with the twisty handy thing. I can't fucking remember what you guys call it. But
I think Nerdy's got it in there. It's called Manda's double hand job.
I hate you so much. It's fine. It's cool.
Oh dear, there's a lucky Irishman out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Very lucky.
Oh dear. All right, we're at the 2-hour mark, so I think we might wrap it up on that note.
Good.
Because it's
the rolling motion thing.
Go and
Thank
check
you,
out
Nerdy.
Happy Old Dude.
OnlyFans.com/fappy old dude. You know what? I think Jay, we'll talk. We'll talk about that. We'll make it happen. All right, Jen, what's coming up? What are you doing? What is coming up on your channel?
Okay. Well, seeing as how I haven't gone away yet, tomorrow night my time, so that'll be afternoon in the UK, early morning US. Will and I are thinking about. I can't tell you what time because it will depend on when he's awake and that, but I will have some more idea tomorrow. We're thinking of doing a Stump Jen, but we're only going to be talking about sci-fi. So different sci-fi shows throughout history and stuff like that. So it should be a lot of fun. So if you're into sci-fi and you want to be on the panel, hit me up and we'll get.
I don't think
talk about sci-fi.
Manda doesn't really do sci-fi though.
No,
No, I really don't. I have Star Wars. That's it. Everything else, and Firefly, I guess, if you can consider that kind of sci-fi.
Well, and Star Wars isn't so much sci-fi as it is historical documentary. Happened a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
Far away, exactly. And my TIE fighter. So
actually, you know what? I want to try something here. Okay, I want to see how good your knowledge of Star Wars is. I'm going to say a line, and I need you to reply with the next line. Okay, you ready?
I won't. I guarantee you, I won't be able to do it. But you can try.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
Oh no, I don't got it. What did he say?
he doesn't say what everybody thinks he says.
It's not Luke, I am your father, right?
No, he never says.
Actually,
Luke.
it's not Luke. It's not Luke. I am your father. It's
Yeah.
no, I am your father. Sorry, it's just I am.
Actually, I did know that part.
Just I am your father. There's no and there's no Luke.
Yeah.
In it.
It's
Everybody
people
gets that
think it's
wrong.
no Luke. Yeah, I think it's called the Mandela effect.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's just people misremembering. The other one that comes from Star Wars is C-3PO's leg. Everyone thinks he was pure gold originally, and he was not. One of his legs is silver. He was always a repaired droid.
Yeah.
So if
That's
you watch
true.
the old Star Wars, one of his legs is silver, and it's meant to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Mandela effect. It was always like that. It's just people misremember. A lot of that has to do with the toys, because all the toys came out with him being pure gold, and they were wrong.
Yeah. It was just easier that way.
I never realized that.
No, there you go.
I think he had a red leg for a while too.
Yeah, he had a red leg. He had a red leg in the Disney movies.
You know what's weird though?
Wasn't it a red arm?
Oh no, you might be a red
leg.
Arm. Leg. Yeah, no, he's like.
Before the last movie came out, they showed they had an action figure that was leaked of C-3PO with Chewbacca's blaster arrow thing, and that never came to pass in the movie. So I don't know why they did that, but just an interesting bit of trivia.
I think a lot of things had to get changed in the movies though after Carrie Fisher died.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, in all honesty,
they did a really good job with putting her in the movie, though. I don't think it was super like obvious. I think they did a decent job.
Holy crap! C-3PO's got a silver leg.
Yeah.
I didn't believe you, but I believe you now.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
What?
Yeah.
It became one of those big arguments over the Mandela effect, and I'm like, no, he didn't. He always had a silver leg.
Also, Han absolutely shot first. So, just saying.
Oh yeah, Han shot first. Well, that is something that was changed though.
Oh yeah, and then they added. Did you notice they added this stupid fucking line? I don't even remember what it was, but he says something right before he gets shot. I can't remember it, but they added it in when they like remastered it the last time. It's fucking stupid as shit. I don't just stop Disney, stop fucking with our stuff.
Actually, what do you think about them remaking the originals?
What?
Yeah, it's in the news.
No,
they're gonna remake with new actors and fill in a lot of. It's going to be a longer epic. So like it's four would be like spaced over 2 movies.
If they want to remake anything,
it'll be essentially 2 trilogies with 4, 5, and 6 done as 2 trilogies.
No. If they want to remake anything, remake the last 2 movies because they are the ones they fucked up.
Dude, there will be fucking riots if they do that shit. Like, no.
Tell different stories. Okay. What they're doing now with doing The Mandalorian and doing Ahsoka and even doing Obi-Wan Kenobi as a fill-in thing, that's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Don't touch the originals. I
see what they're doing with The Mandalorian as separate from Disney. I see it as Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's work. I don't see it as because they were given a lot of
I'm just going to be clear. I was fucking with you.
Better.
I just don't.
I was keeping a straight face, going, "Oh yeah, yep, it's going."
I was going to say, make me cry for a third time on the stream.
I was about to say, and they're swapping it. So Luke's going to be a Prince of Alderaan, and Leia's going to be on Tatooine.
God.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the Obi-Wan one, though. I hope they do. I hope they do as well with that one as they've done with the Mandalorian.
I thought they'd cancelled that. I thought that was off the cards.
Is that?
I think it's off the cards. I know there's talk that they're going to do an Ahsoka show.
Yes, they're definitely doing Ahsoka.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a certain other person gets his own show now. I'm not going to say anything. Go watch The Mandalorian, everyone.
Oh yeah. I want to see. The reason I want Ahsoka to have a show is because I know Captain Rex will be in it, and Rosario Dawson was, as you know, she was fantastic as
she was brilliant. Actually, and I think Katie Sackhoff might get her. They're talking about a spin-off there for Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, yeah,
and that's good.
Yeah, and they kind of set up with the taking back Mandalore and things. It's just going to be interesting. I think it's. All this stuff going on, but then it's so separate from the movies. But it's like there's all this stuff that
it's good that it's separate from the movies, though. I'm going to ask
it has to be
about the Obi-Wan thing because he would have told me.
Double check. I'm going to double check on that, but I have a feeling that the Obi-Wan show.
That's sad. That sounded so good. That really did. Do you guys? Do you guys have
controversial opinion, Manda?
I'm sorry, so it's been put on hold.
Disney should forget about trying to make Star Wars movies at all and just concentrate on building their TV universe.
I know, I agree, because they can't do the movies and they're giving the TV stuff to the creators.
Yeah, but you know what? But Rogue One, for instance, Rogue One was awesome.
Yeah, Rogue One was good.
I thought that was.
I actually didn't even mind Solo, to be honest. I quite enjoyed Solo.
Not me.
See, I thought Solo was a good sci-fi movie, but it wasn't a good Han Solo movie.
Yeah, only because I think they picked the wrong person to play Han Solo.
That point when he's at the station and he gets his name, oh, you're alone, you're solo.
That was dumb.
Oh my God, I was like, fuck this, I'm done. Like, that was so stupid.
That was dumb. That was absolutely dumb.
But no, I agree. I mean, like I said, Favreau and Filoni, they should have. I'm sorry, they should have given Lucasfilm to Filoni. They really should have had him lead it.
Yeah, I think the last Jedi. See, I liked the Rise of Skywalker, but I hated the Last Jedi. That was an absolute. I could see what they were trying to do, but do that in the TV. Do that kind of stuff in the TV series where you can be a little bit more experimental, take some risks. You don't take Star Wars is very, very simple. It's a very straightforward thing. You don't mess with that, and that's why when they did Episode 7, it was basically a remake of Episode 4.
Oh my God, I know. Like, I wish Badger was here.
My biggest issue with The Last Jedi. I have so many issues.
I've had those conversations with him. Yeah.
But the starship going into hyperdrive and being used as a weapon is totally canon wrecking to the entire show. Because I'm sorry, a general thinking of that as an idea, scientists within the galaxy would have figured that out long before, and this would have been the weapon of choice for destroying anything within the universe if this was possible. It is like a Death Star. Fuck up.
Like a Death Star. That's how you destroy a Death Star.
And if they have this weapon and they know they could do it because they did it in the last show, why didn't the Rebels have a whole heap of missiles designed with hyperdrives in them to use to destroy the Emperor's fleet in the last movie?
With robots, they're just going, yes, sir, I will hit the hyperdrive button right now. Bang.
Exactly. It is a total monument. You can spend
and that's why
science goes, but this is a plot error, a major plot error that you can fly a starship through.
I think the Rise of Skywalker actually went and did its best to try and make some of that stuff make sense. But I mean, look, when it comes to plot errors, I've spent years watching Star Trek. So I mean, incidentally, have you been watching Star Trek lately, Jen?
Yes.
Oh, I'm out.
Have you seen the latest discovery that has just dropped?
Today's no.
You should watch that.
I'm going.
You really should watch that.
I've been I up until this season have not enjoyed Discovery, but I am really liking this season.
You'll make a video on the latest episode, I think.
Will I be pissed off or will I be happy?
I think you'll be very happy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep, I think you'll be very, very happy. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, on that note, I think it's time. The very short 1 hour stream has gone over 2 hours. So
the 1 hour stream we were going to have.
It's just going to be a quick 1 hour stream. Jen's going to rant. We're all just going to say yes, Jen, and then go. But
no.
Anyway. No. Actually, you know what, Scummer? I'm completely full.
What the? Why would you put that on the screen, Jeff? You are fucked. You are.
Oh, Mama Atheist, you're not happy. You're a bad doo-doo. Bad doo-doo, Mama Atheist.
I'm gonna send my TIE fighters after you assholes.
Hey, look, he was the Sith Lord all along. You know that, don't you?
No, you don't follow the Jet. I get that it could make sense, but no, I don't follow the Jar Jars.
I think it'd make a lot more sense than what Disney did.
There's a canon comic that strongly.
I know, I've read that comic numerous times, but
do you know? I can tell you when that comic came out and it was like the Darth Jar Jar thing. Holy shit! Did I have people come into my shop at that point?
Really?
It's where's the one where Jar Jar's got a lightsaber? I just had him behind the gun. There you go. I'm thinking
Jar Jar would have been a really good twist if Jar Jar had turned out to be Darth Bane.
It could have worked
behind the scenes. It would have been brilliant, and it would have made.
He comes from the same planet. He does big leaps in the air. Everyone, when he went to Gungan City, they weren't like they were afraid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no.
And he did the whole drunken fighter thing. The Jackie Chan made famous.
Oh, we've lost Manda.
Sorry,
no, I'm bringing out Rex to fucking shoot his ass. That's what it is.
but Manda, you probably would have liked Jar Jar more if that had ended up being the plot. If you'd realized that this was all a facade and he was actually quite intelligent and was the Darth Bane of history and was actually pulling some of the strings behind the scenes, and then you actually got to see a scene where Palpatine killed him. Now that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Jar Jar is going to be the Jedi that trains the child in the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to ask you guys that. What is your theory as to who is the Jedi? Because I can tell you what Angel did. And it's fucking crazy. What was that, Jen?
It doesn't fit the time. It doesn't. Luke is going around searching for kids now. He's training Leia now, so it'd be unlikely that it's Luke because it doesn't really fit the time.
Hang on. How many years is it after the collapse of the Empire? I think we're only about 5 years after, aren't we?
5.
So, and the Last Jedi is 30 years after the Battle of Endor.
Do you guys want Angel's theory? Because it's insane.
We'll see if it's the same as my theory, but yeah, go for it.
No, it's not. He thinks Mace survived the fall, and that it was Mace. And Mace has been the one.
Everyone knows Mace survived the fall.
Yeah, okay. Lots of people think that one, Manda.
But he thinks that Mace is the one who's been training. The idea is that they kept Grogu separate from the rest of the younglings because they wanted to protect him because, endangered species and all. And that's how he was able to survive the slaughter and everything. And that Yoda and Obi-Wan and
hang on, really quickly. This is not spoilers. If you've watched the first season of The Mandalorian, this is not spoilers. So we are not talking about anything that could possibly be a spoiler at all.
No. We're just saying, there's a Jedi, and we're trying to figure out who it is, and because we don't know. I don't know if
my guess would be Ezra.
Yeah, I think Ezra.
I don't want it to be Ezra. I fucking hate Ezra. Fuck that shit.
But Ezra, unfortunately, Ezra makes sense given who's making the show, the age that Ezra would be by now. Ezra makes sense to show up.
And Ezra is someone who has had attachment in his life.
Yeah. Plus Ezra's attachment or Ezra's connection to Ahsoka as well. So, but I agree. I think it probably is Ezra, and I wish it weren't because I don't fucking like Ezra.
And that would mean that Ezra would become a permanent character in The Mandalorian too, which I don't like the idea of.
Can I just say I don't like Cara Dune or whatever her name is? I'm sorry they picked the wrong. She's just the woman they picked to do her to be the actor for. What, Jen?
No, that's Rosario Dawson.
Oh, that's
it is. Not Ahsoka. The woman that was like a UFC fighter or something like that. She's just not. She. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but compared to the you've got fucking Pedro Pascal and what TT from is IG-11. You have you got fucking Giancarlo Esposito. And then you have this woman, and every scene that she's in, it takes away from the experience to me because she just sucks. Sorry. So
anyway,
I didn't mean to rant about that. Sorry, I know you're trying to wrap up.
We're going to finish the stream. So we know what Jen's got coming up. Ed, what do you got coming up? So we can talk about that. For
no idea. I don't know. I need to figure out something and get to work on doing some videos for my channel. I have nothing planned.
Excellent. Manda, you're off the air for the next week or so anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, I have a procedure today, so I'm going to be laid up for a week. But I do have Creaky Blinder on the 18th. It's a Friday night. Or it's a Friday afternoon. It's 2:30 in Eastern time for me, and I might be on John's later tonight. And yeah, I'm just working on videos and trying to deal with stuff. So sorry I don't have that much, but that's about it. Oh, and then the next book club again is Kitchen Confidential. If you want to read it and catch up in a month when we do it.
Excellent. So for me, really simple, Friday Night Six Pack, you know where to come and find me. Now, I just want to see, did we get that extra subscriber? I'll be very excited if we did. Did we get to 650? No, we haven't. If you haven't subscribed, just hit the subscribe button. Be number 650. It'll be really, really cool. I am going to have Manda on in a bit over a week where she's going to explain climate science to a science dummy. So that should be, and that science dummy is me. So that should be fun.
Yes.
Good luck, Mandy. You're going to need
it. and you'll find me lurking on Twitter and in the comment section. Yeah, I'm going to go and troll some Christians now, and do it. What was his name? Philip Christian was doing here.
Yeah.
No, actually, I won't because I'm a decent human being, and we don't need to do that. Anyway, on that note, everyone have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a great weekend. Bye. What Ed said. Bye.